Hello everyone. Welcome to yet another episode or edition of Storyblok Community Chats. And having said that, I think we have already reached on the sixth number. The last couple of editions were quite an intriguing one because we have had different kinds of conversations right from very beginning. But when you ask me what community chats are all about, it's just an informal way for Storyblog team to come up on the live streams, invite some amazing guest speakers in different domains across the globe, and have some chat about varied topics with them. Uh, with varied topics, I mean something which can be general, something which can be very much oriented to a specific group, or anything different. Uh, Having said that, this time we have a topic which is kind of new, but at the same time, many people can resonate with that, no matter what background they're coming in from, and which is from passion to profession. And I think it's quite straightforward when I say from passion, which means something you're very passionate about, something you love doing, and you go from that passion and try making that into a profession, something you can earn from, something you can, you know, spend your day-to-day life, day-to-day, every day of your life doing that thing. A lot of things in place, a lot of things to go through in this particular live stream, uh, but I'm not gonna do that alone. So for that, we have a very special guest who will be joining this live stream, who is Sahil Sen, and he is joining in all the way from Istanbul right now. So I would love to have him on the stage. Here we go.
Hi,
Hello, Sahil.
hi Siddharth. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. And yeah, really looking forward to the chat. Really looking forward to any questions you might have for me today. So yeah, just excited to be here.
Absolutely. Even I was quite looking forward to this one because uh, we have been talking about doing a live stream together for I don't know over a month or two.
Yeah,
But finally, I think we are here with the live stream in place, and we are already live. So I'm happy that this is happening. Uh, Before we actually get started, let us know more about you. Like I know who you are, but if you could let our audience know who you are, what you do, where are you based out of, anything that can help them know better.
for sure. So first of all, hi everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. And I am Sahil Sen. I work with the Quicknode team on the developer relations team as a senior developer advocate. Quicknode is a Web3 or blockchain tooling provider. We have a lot of different tools which makes the lives of developers who wants to develop on blockchain easier. And I work to create a lot of developer educational content, which which help them getting started with either Quicknode or different types of APIs or tools in the space in general. All of our content is not just limited to Quicknode content, but we also try to educate people around different kinds of tools, which can be very helpful for them in general in the space as well. So that's about it. That's a really short intro from me. And if any of you wants to know more about Quicknode or wants to talk to me, have chat about how to get into Web3 or how to get into blockchain space, my DMs are always open. You must see my Twitter handle right next to my name. And yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. That was quite a summary. Thank you so much for sharing that. And also, everyone in the chat, feel free to introduce yourself as well in the chat. Who you are, where are you joining in from, and something you're looking forward to from this particular live stream. We will also be taking up questions, but that will be done in the very end of the live stream. I already have a following questions listed in front of me. So we'll be going through the list of questions first. If you get stuck anywhere, if you have a very specific question at that very point, you can ask it in the chat, because it's all yours. Awesome. Thanks, Al, for introducing yourself. Maybe after knowing more about what you do, I would love to know more about the background, the story behind it, because I know what you're doing right now is the profession of yours, but
Yes.
is that also a passion that eventually become your passion or profession? Sorry. So,
Yes.
would you like to talk about it?
Yes, so kind of it is because my passion, you could say, is teaching developers or just people in general about a lot of stuff, not just tech, but about a lot of stuff. And the thing is that because the because the because the job which I do is a developer relations job, I get to teach a lot of people by the means of content, by the means of workshops, may it be live or in like live in person workshops or virtual workshops, talking to people, teaching them about blockchain and Quicknode in general. So I would say that I have kind of a profession for teaching or educating people, and
Mhm.
because of the nature of my job, I do get to exercise that or perform that passion from time to time by creating content, by talking to people, by giving workshops, by teaching them about new tech in the space or about Quicknode or about blockchain. So I can say that yes, it is being fulfilled. My passion is being fulfilled by I am doing my professional job in my professional career. So uh, that's a correlation there. And if you ask, I mean, you also asked that how it started. Giving like I should like talk about some background, like how it started, where this profession came from, or something like that, right? So I have
Mhm.
always had this thing for teaching people, and it started during my university days. So we had uh, we had a student club in our university, a computer science student club, which was a GitHub student club, you can say. And one of the seniors in my college, like senior batchmate in my college, he was a GitHub campus expert, and he was forming a team for community organizers. So I applied as well. I joined in as a social media manager first, and
Mhm.
then I saw that okay, they were doing a lot of workshops, teaching people about GitHub, teaching people about other open source technologies and applications, and how to contribute to open source, how to use GitHub, and all of that, how to use GitHub, all of that. So that kind of inspired me a lot. I saw that people were actually gaining value for it. The students in our university were actually gaining value for it. So that kind of inspired me a lot. That motivated me a lot to do the same thing myself as well, which helps other people by just sharing the knowledge which you have. And that kind of got me very much interested or very much leaning or towards this teaching part of the things. And that's when I also started doing a lot of workshops in the university. Later on, I also became the GitHub campus expert, started doing workshops, started organizing hackathons, and I mean, I just started to like it very much. You can say that I just fell in love with this entire process of teaching people, having them learn something. So that's where it started. It started in the university.
Understood. And I think while you were sharing that story of yours, I kind of remember a lot of instances out of those stories because somewhere or the other, like in middle of your journey while you were in your university, I think I became part of it as well. Not as a contributor, but as a learner, as a seeker. Because I remember I was attending one of your workshops in your universities, and I think I got to know you from that particular event of yours.
Yeah,
And for everyone watching, I can definitely vouch on the teaching skills or the way Sahil, puts any point forward. It's like definitely amazing. And uh, from what you mentioned, Sahil, it was your passion for teaching or educating others that led you to this profession.
yes,
And you mentioned that you're already doing a lot of it while working at Quicknode
yeah,
as a dev advocate. Especially in the blockchain space or Web3 space in general. So, and I think for everyone who are aware of what you do, they already know you are sharing things on socials, on content platforms, speaking at events and conferences out there. So I think
yeah,
that has been greatly channeled in so many ways that that is like obvious out there. Uh,
Yes.
while you were also sharing about how you started getting more into all of these things right in your universities,
Hmm.
uh, and I think that is how also you discovered your passion,
Yeah.
that this is something that you are super passionate about. So in the entire journey of yours in this particular phase of university, was there a specific moment or any kind of an event that made you decide that, hey, I want to pursue this passion as a full-time profession? So was there any instance where you really thought that this is something I really want to do and there's no looking back, something like that, a moment?
Um, there was a similar moment, not exactly like that, but there was a similar moment. So I did not even so back in the day, I did not even know about a profession like this. I was just aspiring to be a software developer, which I was also working as a front end developer during that time.
Hmm.
And the senior, which I mentioned earlier, who was also a GitHub campus expert, his name is Daniel. And he he started working as a developer relations associate at a company. So from him, I got to know that okay, there is a profession where you can still write code and also teach people like how to build applications or how to build applications on a particular product which you work for. So that's when I got to know about the developer relations field. That's when I was introduced with the developer relations field. And based on your question, you can say that this was the point when I realized, okay, I want to pursue this. I want to pursue this career path in my career. And as I said, or as I mentioned earlier, I was already working as a developer, a front
Hmm.
end, so I did have like some necessary skills. So yeah, and when I started, like when I joined Quicknode and I started actually doing that work, actually teaching people, I really liked it because you get to code plus teach people. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I personally feel that having an inspiration at that early stage is really very important. I think
Yeah.
we're going to talk about this specific part of seeking inspiration in later part of this live stream. But one more point which you mentioned, that about the skills that you started gaining or started developing for yourself. Uh, when it comes to skill development, we are, as a beginner or someone who's just getting started, it kind
Hmm.
of becomes very much confusing, something that they're not aware of, that
Yeah.
where should they get started, what is something they should start with first,
Yeah.
or what is something they should definitely pursue as a skill development. So in your case, what skills did you find most crucial in turning your passion into a profession? And even on top of that, how did you go about acquiring or honing them? Because how would you know that if this is the right skill for you?
Got it. So, what I'll do is first I will talk about myself, like which skills I had to develop to get into this profession, or kind of to turn my passion into profession. And then second, I will kind of give you some, or the audience some advice, like a small advice which they can work on or they can pursue. So the first and foremost and the most important thing is the ability to convey the message. So whenever you are educating someone, whenever you are um, trying to educate someone, by any means, it can be content, it can be workshop, it can be like it can be a blog post, video, anything. You have to keep in mind that the way you understand things is not the might or might not be the same way people also understand that
Yeah.
particular topic or thing, right? So you also have to keep in mind the audience you are catering to, that
Hmm.
how that group of people will consume your content, and then after consuming, how they will be able to digest that. So you have to like format your content or way of speaking in that way that that content or that message is easily consumed and then digested by that group of people. So that's what i i I think I learned, and I am still learning,
Hmm.
because I do really want to get like I do really want to succeed in this space and convey the education in a really consumable manner to the audiences or to my readers or the developers. And I think that's the that's the biggest skill which I would say I had to learn, and I am still learning in the process. That skill, that ability to deliver the message, that ability to make people understand in their in maybe in their um, own way, or in a way which they understand or are familiar with. So that, and another thing is also, I mean, it's not a skill, but thing which I had to learn was to showcase the ability to showcase the work which you do. For example, if you go the content route, you are creating content around something, let's say Storyblok, right? You are a DevRel at Storyblok. Let's say you create a content piece, let's say a blog around how to create how to create your own blog post website using the Storyblok CMS. Let's say you are creating that content, and you have created that content. It's really good. It's top notch, but it it won't be um, it won't be very usable. I mean, usable is not the right word, but I'll still use that to convey the message. It won't be very much successful. Yeah, successful is the right word. It won't be very successful until you distribute it, right?
Hmm.
uh, if it just stays on your website and nobody knows about it, it won't be that much successful, and it won't help anyone, right?
Correct.
The content, the audience which it's intended to help, it won't help them.
Hmm.
So distribution is another part which I learned as well, or I mean, still learning. So the different channels and the need for distribution is very crucial. And then I would like conclude this answer with just a small piece of advice that if ever you want to start your journey, or if anyone wants to start their journey, uh, they do not need to develop all the skills first and then start. I mean, they can just start and then develop the skills on the way. You just have to pick a tech. You don't have to pick different techs, like technologies. You just pick one tech, focus on that, and excel in that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's so true in so many ways. And when you were sharing, I also personally feel there should be a journey in your skill development. It shouldn't be always like a complete book that you have to read. You can read 10 pages of, let's say, 10 books. Not necessarily you complete all the 10 books.
Yeah.
The start is very necessary because uh, again, for example, I remember, if let's say if we are like normal school students, we are just learning to speak English. We start with alphabets first, then we go with the words, and we don't directly jump to the vocabulary, right?
Yeah.
Because we still need to learn the basics first. So I think it's really very important to understand what's the priority at the same time. What is the need of an hour? For example, you give the particular case of me writing a blog about Storyblok. Uh, in that case, at first, I would really want to learn how to write blog in a correct way, and eventually how to structure it, how to use the right words, what should be the limit, and all these small little things, right? Only once I have done that, I'll jump onto the other skill of, let's say, distribution in this case, which you mentioned. If I would have done or learned the skill of distributing first, I think that would be of no use because I do not have anything to distribute.
Yes.
So it just gets followed by one and the other,
Yeah.
and there's no wrong time to start something that you are in need of as a skill,
Yes.
which is what I feel. Many a times, let's say, people who are just getting started, let's say in universities, they feel like they just have the limit of, let's say, 3 4 5 years in which they need to learn or develop that skill, which is not correct, because after university they have a lot of time. And for people who have already graduated, they feel like they are too late. But it's just that any time is a good time to start learning something new, something that can especially help you, because if you're not developing it, you're nowhere. But if you're trying something new, you're definitely better than who you were the previous day.
A
So
hun- 100%, 100%. I have met DevRel people from like from a wide variety of backgrounds plus age groups. I have met people who are just 17 and are still in university and are doing are doing DevRel professionally. I have also met 45 years old who have been software engineers for such a long time and have just transited into the DevRel space. So yes, I mean, as Siddharth mentioned, no age or no right time to get started and learn new things. You, you can do it anytime.
yeah, absolutely. And also, like, for all the audience in the chat, I see there are a couple of folks watching. Feel free to drop in your questions that you have, and we can pick that up. It can be anything. It can be random. It can be with respect to your journey, or anything around the same. And would love to have them as well.
Yeah.
Cool. I wanted to understand one more thing at this point, because we talked about how you discovered your passion, how you, understood that, hey, this is the right time that I need to pursue this as a profession,
Hmm.
and these are the skills that I really need to develop in order to become successful, or at least to get started at first place. Uh, I think it was never like a straight single path, you know. There might always be challenges in the journey as well. So I also wanted to touch on the other side of the story. While all of this was happening, while you were discovering your passion, when you realize that this is something you would like to go ahead with, and these are the skills you would like to hone, what were those, like, what are some of those challenges you faced during this transition, or just process of turning your passion into profession? Or even when you face those challenges, how did you overcome that? Or what were those things that you would definitely be cautious of from the next time?
Um, the first and foremost would be, and it must be common with a lot of you folks as well, that feeling of self doubt,
Hmm.
right? The it it happens a lot of time to a lot of us that we are doing good, we are doing so great
Yeah.
in our work, in maybe work, maybe studies, anything, but we still have those feelings of self doubt. We still go to the dark dark place. So it's not bad and it's not very uncommon to have those feelings, but to overcome them is something very hard. And I think when 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 I was trying to switch and when in the process, I faced a lot of self doubts. I faced a lot of doubts about like about the certainty of the positions, because the DevRel space is still very new, and since I was already working as a front end developer, it was secure, right? It was known to the people.
Hmm.
I mean, those kind of jobs have been for such a long time. So I think I was doubtful at some point, but after joining Quicknode, I don't think I was doubtful anymore, because of the team, because of the work which I was doing, because of the kind of work I was doing. And then I have been like certain ever since that, okay, this is the thing I want to do. This is the thing which fulfills me. This is the thing which keeps me sane in this space, in this world. So that, and then obviously there are a lot of challenges in your day-to-day professional life, right? um, so when you are working as a professional, you do have to be accountable for a lot of stuff, right? You are accountable for a lot of stuff. If
Hmm.
you are just teaching in college, you are just teaching. You don't expect a lot of output out of that, or a
Yeah.
lot of how can I say, a lot of ROI out of that, like
Hmm.
return of investment being your time which you give or invest in teaching people and creating content. But when you are working as a professional, you have to track all of those things. Like, you have to track the returns, you have to track how that content is working, how people are interacting with those content pieces, what kind of people are interacting, what kind of content is working, what kind is not, and then do switches, or then change your content according to that, change your style according to that. So
Hmm.
yes, I think those are the challenges. Apart from that, I don't think there are a lot of challenges, because it's pretty straightforward. Creating content around the product or company I work for, and letting people know about the product and the tools which we offer, creating example applications to showcase how the product works and how they themselves can create their own applications. It's pretty straightforward. It's also something which I enjoy to do. So that's why there are less challenges, but obviously there are a lot of challenges which 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 I face too on a day to day basis.
Hmm.
But it's nothing major.
True. And I believe many times it happens because we are passionate about something, because we love doing something, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the same thing we're going to do when we turn it into a profession. Of course, the base would be same. The idea of the profession would be the same,
Hmm.
but it it wouldn't be completely the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Many times people feel like, let's say I'm good at public speaking, I'm good with talking with people.
Hmm.
Is DevRel a right profession for me? Many people ask me the same question because they love hosting events in their college. Is DevRel the right thing for them? Because they're passionate about hosting events, let's say. But it's beyond that. When it changes into profession, it goes beyond what your passion is all about. Of course, you'll be fulfilling your passion, but there'll be a lot of extra things that will come along with that
Very
particular profession that you'll be choosing, which
very
also
true.
which also brings me to the next question of balancing of passion and practicality, uh, which aligns with the same exact point which I mentioned. In this entire process of understanding, or getting afraid of the new challenges or the new things that come their way when they try to follow their passion, many people hesitate to turn their passion into a career due to the doubts within themselves that can they push the extra mile just to be happy with following their passion. So in your case, how did you overcome uh, any such uncertainties or reservations?
Uh, to be honest, to be completely and very honest, to be very straightforward, by just doing the work I do every day, and not thinking about the negative things. And the thing is that the balance is where you can you can show results, you can show uh, you can show results, you can show conversions,
Mhm.
and you can show numbers by doing the work you do. I think that's the balance. So you just have to channelize your passion in such a way that the company or the product you work for is uh, I mean, the it can be any activities. I mean, I am doing DevRel, so that's why I'm just like taking that example a lot of times. So you just have to channel it in such a way that it shows numbers, it shows results, and then I think you will be good to go to convert your passion, or to convert the things which you love for a professional job.
Understood. And also, like, for if you need to ask me,
So that, I think someone's at the door. I need to get that. Just give me 1 second.
sure, take your time. Also, like I was saying, for anyone who is also understanding their point. When they're trying to convert their passion into profession, it really becomes important for them to understand what profession they are pursuing. uh, by the way, all of this which I'm speaking is for the audience, not for Sahil, so just in case, just to follow along what Sahil just mentioned. So when it comes to, converting that and having that balance of passion and practicality, it also really becomes important for an individual to understand which direction they are moving in, because it is not always going to happen that whatever you do as out of your passion is going to be same in the profession, because there are a lot of strings attached when it comes to doing things professionally. It's like there will be a lot of factors affecting your work, a lot of things you will be going through on your day-to-day life. There will be teams you're working with, there'll be ups, there'll be downs, there will be successes, failures, and a lot more thing, which might not happen when you're following just your passion, because there's nothing to lose there, because you're doing it for the only reason that you love doing that. But when it comes to profession, there'll be a lot of factors that are going to affect your passion. So I would say just be ready for that as well. Eventually you'll be satisfied. uh, at least in my case, I think in Sahil's case, we are, if you are truly associating your profession with the passion that you followed right from very beginning. But yeah, thanks Sahil for putting all those words together. I think that made a lot of sense. Jumping and switching the branch a little of conversation, uh,
Hmm.
I think a very crucial role in your case would be the networking and community. And also, you gave an example of Daniel from your early university days.
Yes.
Uh, so, in the entire journey, I mean, still, when you mentioned that you are learning a lot of things at this time as well, and I personally believe that learning should never stop. In this entire journey, how much of an impact do you think networking and community added to your process of, enhancing your profession in
Yeah,
much more better way? Like, how important was building a network and engaging with the community in your journey was?
got it. So the thing is that staying connected to community is important, I think, in any profession, not just in tech, not just in the blockchain space, not just in the developer relations space. I think having connected to a community where you can find folks like-minded folks who care about the same thing which you care about is always beneficial for your personal growth, because you will be interacting with those people, you will be sharing and taking notes from their experiences. What how I see this is that, let's say everyone is building a house, right? And there is a community of house builders. Someone is expert in carpentry, someone is expert in plumbing, someone is an expert in masonry, and someone is expert in electrical fittings work, all of that. So if you were not connected to a community, or if you were not talking to like-minded people, you will have to do all of this or learn all of this on your own,
Hmm.
right? But let's say that you are in a community, you have different peoples knowing different skills. So you let's say Siddharth is very good with carpentry, so you can learn those different skills from from the fellow members of your community. Someone who is good with masonry can teach you masonry in a very efficient and faster manner, because you won't have to the entire painstaking process of learning something, learning a new skill, or even like in the tech, in the computer science or tech space,
Mhm.
learning a new language or learning a new tool. You don't have to do that on your own. You can learn from your fellow community members in a very efficient manner. You
Mhm.
don't have to gather all the resources. You don't have to and the best part is you end up not making the mistakes which they made in their learning process.
Yeah.
And then you can also do the same thing with them as well. You can teach the skill which you are good at to them. And having community connected to community is always good in a sense that you are talking to like-minded people, plus everyone in the community. I think GitHub education explains community in a uh, very accurate kind of manner, that community is a group of people who have same pain points, right? So having that same pain point, working towards solving that pain point is
Mhm.
very valuable, I think, in any kind of growth. Then coming to network, having a network has helped me personally a lot in my career, and it still does every day on a day-to-day basis. Right now, like in fact, I am at a conference, and the best part is that you build networks, and a major part of the developer relations role or position is having that network of people, where you know people from different companies, maybe in the same industry, usually in the same industry, you know people from different companies, and that helps you with the distribution part which I was talking about, right? The the content which you create, the resources which you create, they can help you distribute in their communities. Let's say that there is a product A which you work for, and there you know a person who works for product B. There is a community of people who uses product A, and there is a community of people who uses product B. You both know each other. You are both like developer relations person. You both know each other. Person A creates person A creates content, and then what they can do is, I mean, both of the person A, person B create content. They can share it with each other. They will share it in their respective community. In this way, either person's content reaches both the community, instead of just reaching one community if they would not have known each other, if they would not have done networking. So networking and knowing people does help in a lot of ways. This was just an example, and then obviously uh, it also helps in a way that in a way of learning from that particular person as well, right? It goes back, like going back to my previous example of like a community of house makers or house constructors. So yeah, I mean, talking, having a network, talking to those people can teach you about their skill sets, can teach you gain acquire new skill sets. Plus I mean, a lot of the times they will give you a lot of advices, suggestions,
Mhm.
using which you can avoid the mistakes which they have been making or they have made in their journey, and you can do the same to them as well.
Yeah, that was a great one. I think uh, even even when it comes to, I think you already mentioned it in a very very general way about importance of community in anyone's role, and I think it goes even longer way because it just not benefits you when you are seeking learning, when you are seeking to get advice. It also goes the other way, when you want to share something, when you want to get feedbacks, when you want to hear constructive suggestions from others.
Yeah,
uh, it just doesn't happen like you listen. It also gives you an opportunity to showcase yourself, to share what you have, what you have been doing, and
yeah,
everything around the same. So I think it happens like both the way. uh,
yes, true.
but yeah, I think you summarized it quite well. I think I do not have any other points to add over there, thanks to you. uh, when it comes to all of this thing in this journey of turning a passion into profession, you know uh, when you feel like it's already happening, when you see it happening, when you see it like, oh, you have reached at least the first goal that you might have thought of or you imagined when you started, uh, when you reach certain goals or certain milestone in this journey, how do you feel like, uh, has this journey impacted your overall fulfillment, or let's say satisfaction, in some or the other way? How do you feel about it when you reach a certain milestone and you know that you're doing what you love doing, it's something you're passionate about. How do you feel in that point in time?
Um, to to make it really short and brief, I feel really happy, obviously, and very satisfied. But to give you a long answer, um, I feel very content. I feel very like the feeling which you have when you do charity. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm doing charity, but I'm talking about that feeling. So which makes you very content in your heart, like which makes you feel very good, very wholesome in your heart. I feel that I kind of feel that. I mean, and I'm not saying that I feel satisfied, because I do not want to ever feel satisfied, because if you are satisfied, I believe once you get satisfied, you stop growing. So I do not ever want to be satisfied. I obviously want to be content with what I do. I obviously want to be satisfied somewhat, but not satisfied in a way where I stunt my growth. So yeah, I mean, and I get those feelings when when someone randomly texts me on Twitter, DMs me on Twitter saying that they have read one of my guides or watched one of my videos, and it helped them, and they are just texting to say thank you. Or
Hmm.
when I go to a lot of these conferences, I do meet people that who says that, okay, I didn't. I mean, they won't even recognize me, but when I say my name, and I work for this company, they would say that, okay, oh yeah, you are that guy. I have read your blog post. I have watched your videos. It's really nice. It's a nice work you guys are doing. It's a nice. Quicknode is putting out a lot of nice educational content, educational videos, guides, everything. So when I hear these things, it
Hmm.
makes me feel really good. It makes me feel that, okay, we have done something which is very valuable to a lot of people. So that's when I get like I get like I get some happiness out of it, and that's when I get that feeling of accomplishment, in a way that, okay, we have created something which is valuable to people, which is helping a lot of people on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's a great gesture we provide or we deliver to ourselves as an individual, is what I feel. uh, of course, when you mention you feel accomplished, is that's a great thought of it, because eventually that's one of the milestones that you might have imagined when you get started,
Yeah.
or you might have imagined yourself standing at this position at some point in life in the past. And also, there's a sense of being humble about the journey as well. uh,
Yes, there is a feeling of fulfillment. Yes.
yeah, true. Awesome. I think for all of the people out there who are watching this or who might watch this in the future, if you're following your passion, I think this feeling is something worth achieving, because, as we talked about, the path will never be a straight, simple path, an easy path. It will be with lots of ups and downs. You'll be facing a lot of things. There will be a lot of factors affecting your journey, new challenges, old challenges coming in new ways, and so much more. But when it comes to this very point in time, when you have reached where you imagined yourself to be, I think that feeling of accomplishment is worth trying for. So I think
Yeah,
that's a
I mean,
great way to look into it.
yes, and I mean, I won't say that I am there where I imagine myself to be, because I never keep a goal like, okay, I want to reach this position, or I want to reach this particular milestone, because in if you do that, you are kind of limiting yourself in a way that, okay, I just have to go until here. I just have to do these things and I will reach there. But yes, you just have to have a direction in
Direction.
your mind, you don't have to have a milestone that you have to reach there. You just have to have a direction that I want to excel in this field, and I want to just go upwards in this field, upwards on this path. And I think if you stay on the path and just keep going and just keep working, I think you'll be good.
Absolutely. It's endless, and I always say this thing that this is just the beginning. So over to the next one. But yeah, I think last and follow up questions on that note. Of course, you mentioned that this is not the end. That's not the end goal. There's
Mhm.
so much more to explore, to continue delivering what you have been delivering,
Yeah.
and to reach new heights. I think in that way, how would you consider your future goals and aspiration in your profession, and how do you plan to continue evolving and growing in your passion?
Hmm. So I just feel that I still will want to teach a lot of people, maybe on a larger scale, maybe on a wider scale, try out new forms of content, try out new forms of distributions, all of that. But I don't see myself doing anything else, even in the distinct future as well. And yeah, I mean, I won't make it very long, but I would just say that I see myself doing the same thing being uh, educating people, teaching people, but maybe on a larger, larger format, much wider, with much wider audience, with much wider developer groups, and I just want to I just want to create some stuff which actually helps people and impact their lives. And yeah, that's what I would say. Like, to summarize it, be at a position where I am constantly putting out content, constantly putting out educational pieces, constantly giving out workshops, and they are actually bringing values to people's lives. So that's what I want to do, and that's where I see myself. That's what I see myself doing.
So true, absolutely. And everyone watching, feel free to connect with Sahil on Twitter. He shares a lot of his work that he do on a daily basis there, and you can catch up with him at events he goes to, and he also actively shares about that there. So this
Yeah.
is going to be the right place for you to reach out to him. And also that brings me almost to the end of this particular community chat. Uh, before actually ending and concluding, and let's pick some questions from the chat. Uh, we have one from Vedant here. He's asking for your thoughts on starting out career as a DevRel as a fresher. What are the challenges? How things differ for fresher and an experienced developer, and what's something he should keep in mind while transitioning from a developer to a DevRel role?
Got it. So the first and foremost thing is being a developer. Yes, because the developer relations, the first word is developer. And what I think is, developer relations people are just developers, but people who can convey the message and convey the teaching, like convey the message, convey the teaching part of it, and are just developers who can talk nicely to people, who can talk in a way which people understands. So if you are a developer and are someone who wants to move to DevRel, I think you start with picking up a technology stack, or even a tech technology. It can be a language, it can be a product. So you start by picking that up, then you start by creating some sample apps, or maybe even smaller things, like how to do A with something, or how to do B with something, stuff like that. And then you start creating content around it. And then the next part comes, the distribution. Then you start distributing it. I think I know a lot of people personally who have done this, who have taken this path where they have picked up a tech stack, they have excelled in that, started creating content around that particular tech stack or product, and then started posting it on Twitter, being consistent with that, and then they got hired.
Yeah,
That's how it started.
yeah, definitely. Uh, and Also, it's just like sharing in public, learning in public can be a very effective here while you are networking and being part of the community actively. Uh,
Yeah,
Speaking about what you are doing and at the same time asking right questions to right people, I think that will
exactly.
also help you go a longer way.
Exactly, because we might not feel that or not know that, but there are people who wants to help you. There are people who will help you if you are stuck somewhere.
Yeah,
So imagine that you are building a chat application and you share your progress every day on Twitter, and there is a day where you are stuck with some kind of integration or some kind of hurdle. So, and you share that update on your Twitter as well. I'm sure there will be a lot of people who will post their solutions, or at least will have will have a will have an will have a feeling of how they can help you. They will reach out to you, they will interact with your posts, they will give out solutions in comments and everything. So yes, building in public can be very helpful. First of all, uh, it will give you a wide audience. Second, it will give you access to a wide variety of people who can also help you. And then third, obviously, your work which you are doing gets in front of a lot of people.
yeah, definitely. Also, there's a different kind of a question from
Mhm.
Taki. According to him, these days, DevRel are bashed a lot for no reason. What steps can one take to stop these in a positive manner? I think it again goes back to who and what and whom. But Sahil, what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are that I mean, I think there are good reviews and bad reviews on everything. There will always be someone who keeps pulling you down or wants to pull you down. But I don't. I mean, I don't think that we should focus on the negatives, but we should just keep doing our work. We should just keep keep creating content which is valuable to others. And I think as long as we are doing our work, as long as we are in our lane and not bothering anyone, I think we should be good. I mean, you should not look at the people who are saying negative things about a particular profession, not just DevRel, but a particular profession or a particular company or a particular person. There are always going to be people who does that. That's what social media is filled with right now. But I think the positive side is much more wider and vibrant. So just focus on positives, do your work. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see there's one more question, which will be the last one for this one because we are already on time.
Yeah.
Uh, there's again from Vedant, like he's asking if how to manage both sides, creating impact in the community and also managing company goals as DevRel.
Yeah, so I mean, this is just one question. I mean, I think the thing is that, again, taking the example of creating content. So, if you are able to create something, let's say a video or a blog post, or even a sample app, which is using your product and which is also helping people, obviously you will help developers by giving them a valuable piece of resource. Then if it gets picked up, if it's actually helpful for them, it's obviously creating impact in the community because it is helping people, it is helping developers.
Hmm.
And obviously, if it gets picked up, if it gets popular, and it showcases how you can do something with the product or tool which you work for, it will help you reach your goals as well, like your professional, your work goals as well.
Yeah, true. I think that's quite
It's
straightforward. So
exactly, it's all about creating value and impact, like
yeah.
creating something
And channelizing it the right way, if that's
yes,
correct.
definitely, because distribution is also a major part when it comes to content creation. I think when it comes to anything in general, I mean, if you have even if you have a great product, if you have a great tool or API, if you do not know how to sell it or how to showcase people that what value it can bring to them, that won't be successful, right? So that's the thing, like creating something which is valuable and impactful to others, showing the value of product or tool, and then also distributing it in a nice manner.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sahil, for answering all of those questions. For all the people in the chat, I have shared the link to Quicknode's YouTube. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel because, as I mentioned, Sahil do post a lot of education content around Quicknode blockchain in space and all of these things. So feel free to go through this and explore the rest. And I'm sorry for the spelling mistake. I just noticed because I see N is small here, but it's capital. But yeah, other than that, I think for all the people in the chat, if you want to connect with Sahil, he is active on Twitter, so you can reach out to him on Saint Sahil. Feel free to ask him questions there, tag him along, and meet him at some events happening nearby across the globe. I know he's traveling a lot. Uh, to end this live stream with, what is that final piece of advice you would like to give to any individuals who are passionate about something and who's just getting started to turn that into the profession or are hesitant to turn it into a profession?
I think that if you're really passionate about something, if you really enjoy pursuing that passion, um, I think just go for it. You will get some doubt. Uh, you will get a lot of self doubts. There will be a lot of people who will tell you the other way. But if you are really passionate about it, and like the most important part, if you are good at it, just make the switch, just take the leap, and if you are really good at it, you will be successful even in your professional career.
Awesome. I think well answered. Straight, on point, simple. Just go
Yeah,
for it. Uh, and believe me, everyone starts somewhere. Even if you're seeking for inspiration, you'll see people doing a lot of things in this career or in your career. I think they also started somewhere. So it's
yeah,
important to take the first step, and the following steps will just happen eventually.
definitely. It's important to take the first step, because I mean, 0 to 1 is easy, and I mean, I'm sorry, 0 to 1 is difficult, but 1 to 10 is easier. 10 to 100 is even easier.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Sahil. That was it. I've had wonderful previous 1 hour with a lot of
no, thank you so much.
advices and so much more to learn personally for me as well.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much to Storyblocks and the most important ones, the audiences who are watching us. And yeah, I will be happy to connect with all of you. If you're watching, I'm Sen Sahil on Twitter. Any doubts, any questions related to tech, not related to tech, come up for it.
Awesome. Thanks, Sahil. And I'll see you super soon. Let's see when. But yeah, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, for all the people who are still with us, thank you so much for joining. In case you haven't followed us on Twitch, feel free to. There might be a follow button somewhere here. So, why am I saying that? Because we have a lot of streams coming up. This one, personally, which you're part of, is the community chats. We are also planning a lot of streams of Code and Chill with Storyblog, in which we'll be actually coding around different SDKs, around Storyblog integrations with different tech stacks, and so much more. So I think that is going to be super interesting. Having said that, the next Storyblock Community Chats is on its way. And the next topic is guide to creating talks and CFPs. So in case you're looking to submit talks, in case you are applying for different CFPs for conferences, for events out there, I think this is going to be a super insightful one for you, because we have Shive Lamba joining us. It is going to happen next Friday, same time, same place. So make sure you register for that and join us for this particular live stream. And apart from that, we also have our own ambassador program. So the waitlist is on. If you want to join the waitlist, feel free to. The next application opens in December. And then we have yet another coffee chat of the Girl Code coming on 28th of November. So you can even register for that. And there are just so many live streams coming up on Storyblock Twitch. So make sure you're staying tuned with all of these. And I hope to see you in any of that coming in near future. So upcoming weeks is going to be full of live streams. So feel free to join us, invite your friends, community members, and we will definitely have a lot of fun. And if you're joining us for any of these, feel free to post about this live stream on socials using hashtag Storyblock Twitch. I think that's how we will get connected throughout the channels, and we'll would love to see your opinions, feedbacks, or what's something you loved most about the live streams on socials. 2023 is about to end soon, and we have some amazing plans for 2024 regarding Twitch. So stay tuned for that. Uh, Having said that, I will take a leave, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye, everyone.